Hi friends, welcome back. I am DJ Montague. This is part 2 of our SUPERVIVE Shape Up, and I'm going to continue teaching you more things about the Battle Royale mode of SUPERVIVE. We're going to be going into creeps, we're going to be going into shops, and we're going to be learning about gear and upgrading gear. So let us begin. So as soon as you drop in, you will see a timer under the minimap on the top left of your screen. Now, this timer is counting down from 4 minutes and about 40 seconds when you're flying through the air. It takes about a few seconds to get to the actual neutral plane, the normal ground. Usually is around 4 minutes, 30 seconds until the first nighttime. The first nighttime is 1 minute, 5 seconds. This equals out to about the timer at the top of your screen for the first day to be 6 minutes and 25 seconds of game time. Now, this first level cap is level 4, which will take about 3 to 4, maybe 5 camps, depending on if your group is all together or you split up, or maybe you run off solo and you can do it in a few less camps. But that reaches you to the cap. That doesn't mean you should stop farming altogether, because obviously you need to upgrade your weapons and find the right gear that you're looking for. Maybe farm a few powers off of biome bosses, whatever you need to do to establish that your first fight will be as successful as you could possibly have it. But this is a continuation of the entire game. There is a day-night cycle. During the nighttime, you have less vision. Even if you're crouching, you have a little bit less vision than you would if you were crouching during the day. Also, your cone of vision is a little bit less. So make sure that you're paying attention to the time. And also, you'll hear like a rooster call when it becomes the next day and stuff like that. Some pretty cool, funny, standard stuff though. And then the next day will be a level cap of 6. Day 3's level cap is also 6 as well. And day 4 is level 7. At this point in time, a lot of teams that you'll see running into these later zones will be hitting level 9 if they are successful at completely wiping teams. Now, usually this means if you get a team wipe of full level 6 people, you're usually going to be like level 8. Maybe one of your people in your group hits level 9. By the time day 4 ends, usually around 14 minutes into the game, you're going to be going into the final zones that you'll be fighting in. Each game usually lasts about 15 to 20 minutes if you are going to the completion of the game. And I mean, anywhere in between there, if you're just hot dropping and getting dunked on. But I hope that doesn't happen to you. But it will, probably, and I'm sorry. Before we get into creep killing, which will be the next point, let's start off telling you about your items. Now, currently, there are about 9 items in the game. This is going to change, obviously. There will be items that are vaulted. There will be items that will be tested going forward, I'm sure. But in general, right now, you're looking at like Vamp Blade, Tech Helmet, Mana Blade, Mana Helmet, and they have corresponding stats, and all of these can be leveled up to tier 5. So they will start out gray, or sometimes green, depending on if you're lucky from certain mob spawns. And these, no matter what, no matter where you are, if you walk over a Tech Blade and you have a Tech Blade on your person at this time, it will absorb into your Tech Blade, and there will be some blips up above your character showing you how far along the upgrade process to the next tier you are. Also, I talked about it in another section, but it is good to note here that these also can be upgraded without just walking over these items. You can upgrade them with red gems that you get from killing other players. When you are first loading into your game or your first battle royale, you will see the map pop up with a bunch of purple circles. Those are indicators of the creep camps that are on the map. Now, when you drop in, you will drop in at level 1, and you will have a choice of one of your skills that you can allocate your point into. Killing a creep camp as a group will usually net you level 2 as a group, and you will be able to allocate another skill point into skills. If by chance you have the pleasure of having a hot drop, there's a fast way to level up your skills as well to make it easier for you to instantly start fighting. when you have a skill point and the skill you want to level up does not currently have a point into it, say you drop in at level 1 and you want to level up your right mouse button, you click the little arrow, but at level 2, you see there's a team fight coming on and you want to get your left shift. You can press the left shift button once and it will automatically allocate that secondary point to left shift if you have it available. So at level 1, you have a hot drop, you have a bunch of people coming to fight you. You don't want to take your creep clearing ability. You want to take your ability that lets you poke these people in the face, or slap them in the face, or slash them in the face, or do something to their face so that they don't have that face anymore. You can instantly press right mouse button, shift, or QR, whatever you have the buttons on, and then press it again to use that ability immediately. So you're not wasting time trying to move your mouse over the skill and then back over to the person so that you directionally aim everything. Make this a little streamlined for you. Next up, around the map, there are bonfires. Now, bonfires are this game's like all-in-one base kind of feel. A bonfire provides you with healing once you control it, the ability to cook food at any time, and the ability to fix armor at any time. These bonfires are incredibly important. And also, they provide vision. They provide vision around a massive circle around the bonfire. And also, importantly, they provide vision in a game where vision is very, very scarce. So, controlling bonfires, you can only have one at any given time, but making sure you have one is always helpful. Also, whenever you control a bonfire, you can purchase it and bring it with you into different locations. Again, like I said, the vision from these bonfires is incredibly important. So going into the last circle of the game, making sure that you have a bonfire and seeing the other people around and making sure that you can get armor and get more healing from the actual bonfire itself is going to save you tons of resources against these other teams. Now, when you're killing mob packs, you'll get meat, like raw meat, at the bonfires where you do your cooking. It doubles the effectiveness of the meat. So you always want to have cooked food on you. It's just way better. It's like 200 health for like baseline food, and it's just like nothing. It barely helps. But when you get it to 400, that feels good to be able to use. Now, speaking of food, in this game, there is a thing called vulnerability. And it's just what you think it is. You take double damage while you are vulnerable. Now, this is when you are eating food or channeling, like say, the creation of cooked food. Or when you are resurrecting a death box, you are also vulnerable. Pay attention to the little broken heart icon above your character and also above enemy characters. If you see somebody that is trying to heal, you can get a double damage hit on them. Speaking of killing more people, there are two kinds of keys that spawn around the map. The first that I like to think of is PvP keys. Now, when you team wipe a group, there is a chance a red key will spawn, also known as an evil key or PvP key. This key can be used, and there's a fractal arrow around your character. You move it around until it starts becoming an actual arrow and pointing you in the direction. And it will have little beeps like a sonar, like you're on the beach trying to find gold or keys, or I don't know what you would find on the beach. I've never been to one. I'm a gamer. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, there are also gold keys that do a very similar thing. They don't require you to kill a team. They just require you to kill mobs and find one. Gold boxes are also around. The thing is with PvP keys is that you get very, very special powers at these PvP boxes. Currently, the gold keys are also known as armor keys, which they unlock a gold chest that has blue and green armor in it. So you can get a quick and cheap armor swap rather than going to a shop or trying to loot it off of somebody's face. With PvP, let's try and keep you alive. There are 4 different tiers of armor in this game. Now, armor is a little bit different from something like an Apex. You do have the white health bar above your health, but it is not extra health. It is percentage damage reduction. And the armor also has durability. So make sure that you understand that armor is just not just extra life. but it is incredibly useful. And when you are in the field, even white armor being repaired is the difference between life and death. So as you spawn into the map, you will see an area that is usually a hot zone, or you'll see a kaiju vault, or you'll see a tier 3 vault. In squad PvP, the hot zone will spawn 4 total tier 4 armors. These will be 2 in the vault and 2 in chests or off of bodies around the area, depending on what area it is in. All the different areas have different corresponding opening procedures where you stand over like a chest or like a gold stack or something like that. But all of the hot zone areas will have a chance at that gold armor. So if you are looking to get a pretty good advantage early on, you want to contest for the tier 4 armor. Baseline armor is 20% damage reduction for the duration of the durability of this armor. And it has 4 pips, I guess you could say, of health or durability. Tier 2 armor is 5% more, 25%, pretty good. Tier 3, 30%, again, 5% more. Tier 4, 35%. Max also has 5 pips of durability. So you have a little extra time to keep yourself at 35% damage reduction. And when you're fighting, the durability is consistently going down, even when you're fighting PvE mobs. If you take damage, the durability goes down. If you die and turn into a death box, that armor that you had drops on the ground. And you can have the opponent armor swap on you, or you can armor swap on somebody else and get your damage reduction back. There are also ways to repair it at the bonfire. Or if you get a team wipe or you get a kill, there is an item that drops on the ground that gives you 50% of whatever armor you have. It's just an armor repair kit that you can pick up. Or if you want to get new armor and you're at like tier 1, you can go to a shop. Now, the shops have armor tier 2 and tier 3 at 1,750 and 6,000 gold respectively. So if you're looking to save up and buy something big, tier 3 armor is the way to go. They also sell raw meat and fully cooked food at shops. Shops are very, very useful. You can also get bags there. They're so useful. Highly, highly recommend actually incorporating shops into your rotations and knowing where to move. So speaking of armor swapping and death boxes, let's talk about big death boxes. When a team is fully wiped, there is a big death box that will spawn at the last person killed, which has the entirety of everyone's remaining items on their death boxes for that team. Now, you can pick up items like you end the wisp and you're picking up that person's items specifically to try and armor swap. Understandable. Those won't be in the death box, but the rest of the people's stuff will if they didn't turn into death boxes yet. So ending a team can make looting a lot faster and get your team kitted up way, way quicker. You can also combine all of their items very, very quickly by just saying collect all. If you have the corresponding items, say a tech blade, and they have like 2 people using tech blades, it will just instantly give you all those tech blades. The last thing I wanted to talk about with SUPERVIVE is powers, and these are going to be an ever-evolving thing as the game continues to grow. It's going to completely change, front to back. The same powers that have been in our pre-alpha test are not the same powers that you are going to be playing in the time frame that you're playing in the future. Hello, this is past DJ Montague. You're welcome. So I'm going to be doing individual videos for powers and talking about overarching metas as they evolve, rather than giving you, hey, all the powers are right here. This is what you need to know. A few powers that are really, really good to keep an eye out for. Any sort of the kaiju powers, they're all the high level powers. Tactical nuke is amazing. And any sort of movement powers, which are very few and far between. They're very hard to come by, but something like Team Frog Jump or Blink are insanely strong. Even the teleport skill can move base camps around the map. So, you know, keep an eye out for that one as well. My recommendation for the beginning of your powers journey, since you're just jumping into SUPERVIVE, pick up powers that are on the lower tier scale, because usually those powers are stat buffs only rather than actives. Also, on the right side of health bars is a shorthand way to see what powers each player has. You can see it on enemies and you can see it on teammates. Thank you guys for checking out part 2 of my SUPERVIVE Shape Up and teaching you all the things that you need to know going into SUPERVIVE Battle Royale. I hope this video has helped you a ton in the way that you're looking at SUPERVIVE and the way that you're playing SUPERVIVE. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments or on Twitch, again, twitch.tv/DJ Montague. I want you to be as comfortable as humanly possible going into your first set of matches of SUPERVIVE. Thank you again for being here, and we'll see you in part 3. Peace.